Hey Taurus, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back. Welcome to those of you who've never been here. My name is Jackie. This is going to be a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus singles. General messages for you guys. Okay, we have Chiron, Wounded Healer. We really should just say healing for Chiron. Really should. That's an awesome crowning energy that you guys have. I love it. It's all about healing, which I'm guessing that you guys really could use, right? Because you've had a lot going on in your 8th house of death and reincarnation in the biggest way. So much going on in the sky with the Pluto and Saturn transits and the Capricorn and Cancer transits. You guys have been having your space redecorated for sure. So healing is great. All right, so this first row is going to be what your focus is right now. The second one is why you're single. This third one's going to be energetic blocks. I'm just going to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle, also to give some extra advice in that energetic block line, just because that's usually the tough one, right? Like, why are we blocked? Why are we blocked? I don't know. I have a very healthy energy here for you guys, Taurus. I even did in the pre-shuffle, in my pre-meditation, just like this. I am done with the bullshit kind of vibe. I just really feeling that. Oh, higher power. Higher power. There you go. Sometimes it just works out like that. But let's talk about Chiron, okay? Because this is an important card. Who else got Chiron? I feel like either Cancer or Capricorn got Chiron for their crowning energy. Really, really awesome. But let's talk about what this means. You know, in short, healing must take place before you're able to move forward. You know, that's what this is about. You know, Chiron's not a planet, it's a comet with a really unique orbit that travels the whole zodiac over a 51-year period. And in myth, Chiron was like a centaur, a wise supporter, you know, and he's commonly known as the wounded healer. Okay, so what does that mean? He was wounded in the flank, right, according to the myth, and he was crippled, and then he was rehabilitated from his wounds and his sickness. He ended up becoming very sick, and he ended up following a path in the healing arts through the guidance of Apollo, the god of light. So for those of us in astrology, Chiron has a very special purpose. He serves as a bridge sort of between the inner and outer planets, and as a bridge between all life forms and energies. So I like to view Chiron as, on a very pragmatic level, having to do with astrology and readings. Chiron represents what's hurt in us. That's so deep, though. Chiron is, and many of you who know a lot about Chiron know, Chiron typically represents the deep, deep hurts from like childhood kind. I'm talking like, you know, past back there. And how those experiences early on create and transform over time the life that we end up evolving into. So this is all about traveling through the darkness and making it out on the other side, that you can realize strengths that you actually never knew you had. Right? These lessons are a struggle. They're not easy, right? But we need to go through them so that we can appreciate the light, you know, because you can't appreciate the light until you go through the darkness, right? That's what it's all about, and that's this kind of energy. But this is all about resurrection and transformation, you know, which again speaks very much in line with what's going on for your archetype right now, you know. Yeah, this is like rising out of the water kind of energy. No, not out of the water, out of the swamp. Because it's like not the clean, crystal clean water. It's like the junk, right? The swamp, you guys rising out of it. This is all about healing and taking that wound from the past and learning from it and embracing it and understanding it. Because Chiron is the blending of energies, guys, of Saturn and Uranus. Which basically, what does that mean, right? Basically, that means don't throw out the old. Don't throw it all out, okay? Because there's wisdom in there. You should take the lessons and embrace that, but then embrace what's new in your life. And this is all about understanding, becoming more empathetic, and understanding that at all times, every day, every individual is doing the best they can in that very moment, and understanding that and all that that might mean in your life. And the symbol for Chiron is the key. And here it just, and I do feel this very much, you guys have what you need to open up the door that you really so badly want to walk through. All you have to do is ask. And I am, see, because the corresponding tarot, just to contextualize it a little bit better, the corresponding tarot for this energy is the Hangman, which is all about healing and thinking, right? So this is all you guys are healing, you're thinking, you're trying to really sort of like in a very practical way, you guys are an earth sign, very practical way, very pragmatically figure out not only what has happened, but where you are right now, what you need to do to kind of feel grounded moving forward. Because I'm getting a lot of you have gone through something that pulled your feet off the ground, Yeah, and I feel like this healing is very necessary, for sure. All right, so then we have the first card in your focus. We have the Page of Wands reverse here, which tells me that you're feeling very stuck right now in something. Communication with someone is not going very well. Or many of you are dealing with someone who's very negative and very relentless. The kind of person who keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you, or they don't want to drop a subject. Who's very stubborn and not able to listen to others. While others of you, I'm getting, you're feeling very bored right now. You want to start something new. You want to step into a new life, but you're just feeling really stuck inside your mind and inside your circumstances right now is what I'm getting. You're just feeling kind of stuck, right? Because the Wands are will. The will to move forward, and the Page is something new. So it's like you really want to start something new, but it's reverse. So there's stagnation there. So it could be because of a person, or it could just be, you still trying to hash out the past in your mind. And some of you may feel like you have, cement shoes on in a way. All right, and then we have the Three of Pentacles reverse, which tells me that you're feeling very cynical right now. Many of you are. Where you're in a space of feeling like you've seen it all before. Many of you feeling very bored, very unmotivated to move forward in a number of things. I'm getting some of you feel unwilling to put the groundwork in at a job. You're just not feeling very motivated, or maybe even somebody's interested in you and they want to get into a relationship with you, but you're just not feeling it. You're just not feeling motivated to put the work in. There's an element here of starting something and then not finishing it. Something being in your energy field and you're not following through with it. So this could very much be you just feeling like unmotivated because you're still healing, you're still working stuff out. So while on the one hand, you want to invite things that are new into your life, on the other hand, you're not really willing to go back into anything that is not going to be exactly what you have in your mind right now. I'm feeling like you guys are getting very in touch with what you need and what you're willing to put up with. So, I'm getting that many of you could be dealing with one of the things I just mentioned or all of them, to be honest, right? I mean, because that's the way this energy works. Yeah. And then we have in the line of why you're single, we have the Knight of Swords, which tells me that many of you are single because of a very difficult time that you went through, a time filled with like a roller coaster of dramatic highs and lows where certain truths came to light and underlying conflicts were exposed and things were made clear to you. Blinders were taken off your eyes, and many of you, you were dealing with someone who had a really strong personality and someone who takes no responsibility for reconciliation and felt validated to create like an emotional war zone and then just walk away feeling justified in their actions. So this is you feeling the need to where you felt the need, you were in a space of feeling the need to expect the unexpected, and you really didn't want to deal with that anymore. That's really hard energy for a Taurus, because you guys are so grounded and you value feeling grounded. You value that. Feeling supported. You value values. You know, I mean, that's I love Taurus. Taurus is my moon, but I mean, just the archetype of Taurus is just very, very, very grounded, you know, in the most practical way. So if you were dealing with this energy, that is a bad combination. If you are really needing to feel, you know, solid in something. And again, then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is you just needing stability. Yep. You needing stability and the ability to establish a firm foundation for yourself right now. But what's good about this energy is that if you've been suffering through just struggles, let's just say struggles, that the hardest part of those struggles are over and that your work is paying off. And you're just working really hard on providing a strong foundation for yourself right now, I'm getting. And some of you might be thinking about moving, just really wanting to focus on a fresh start. Okay, I'm definitely getting that. Yeah, but this can bring on, so they call it miserly energies, and I kind of don't like that term because it's very negative. But I am getting that many of you are holding quite tight to your money right now. But at the same time, it's because you know that you worked really hard and you're really trying to set yourself up in a whole new life, in a new space, and you need what you're working for, you know, from a very practical point. You know, this is a Sun and Capricorn energy, so that with your Taurus, yeah, forget it. I mean, you're all about earthy and practical right now, problem solving, you know, and you just don't have it in you to deal with whatever past bullshit you were involved with. You just don't have it in you. You're really more focused on building your own personal abundance than having to deal with the possibility of entering into yet something else that could possibly be toxic. Okay, I totally get that. I've been there myself, Lord knows, but you know, you want to be careful here because you don't want to isolate yourself, you know, because I am getting to at the same time that you guys are feeling like you want something new. You do, okay? And I'm just, my eyes are being drawn up to the advice oracle for the line of your energetic blocks, which is higher power, which is asking you to examine what are you giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind right now, you know? So that's why I'm saying, like, well, your approach to this is perfectly reasonable and healthy. And I you know, who am I? I'm just reading the energy here. But, you know, if we were just friends sitting down chatting, I would say, go, you know, you're doing it. You know, embrace your power, get back into a healthy space for yourself, find your foundation, you know, establish that. But at the same time, don't ignore what's poking at you is really what I want to say. Because if you're obsessing about being right or about old resentments, or if you're working on trying to create your abundance from a space of old resentments or from failed expectations or about money or people or places or things that didn't work out for you in the past, if you're trying to create a new abundance because of those things, that's any abundance that you gain during that energy is not going to last. So what that means is, while your mindset is great, don't do it to spite anyone or anything. Do it from a space of spirit and not from anything negative. Do it through a higher power and not because of a relationship not lasting or to spite someone, to prove something. And again, this is a general message. It's not going to resonate with all of you, but it's very important that as you establish this, so guys, I'm getting this so strong, as you establish this foundation, this very healthy space, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And So often we end up bringing ourselves onto a positive path because of bad things that happen to us, right? But the key here is do that. That's fine. Maybe you were in a really bad relationship and now you're getting your act together and you're putting yourself in a better space. And the motivating, denominator there was the fact that you were in this negative relationship. So I'm not saying to not acknowledge that, but I'm saying to acknowledge that. Don't push that down into the back of your closet and not look at that, and acknowledge that you've been through a lot. There were things you needed to learn in that experience. Acknowledge that. Don't bury it. Don't call it a waste of time. Don't say it was the worst thing of your life. Don't do any of those things, because there's a very karmic vibe to this with Chiron as your crowning energy, and then we have the higher power as your advice. There is a lot of energy here that's telling me that whatever you went through, you needed to go through it and be so thankful for it. And as you rebuild yourself, be in a space of gratefulness and be in contact with your higher consciousness and with spirit and whatever spirit is to you. Okay, but it's this acknowledgement, because don't do anything out of spite. Okay, just want to get that, because also I am getting, with this first up here with the King of Swords with your energetic blocks, this tells me straight up that you are in a space of taking charge of your life, which is awesome. And for many of you, this can be someone from your past who is very logical but very impatient at the same time, who seem more involved with matters of the mind than the heart, and this is someone who wanted to be in charge all the time. Could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, doesn't have to be though, but I'm getting that for many of you who were in a relationship with this person, the residue from that is still an energetic block. I feel like many of you don't feel like you're finished with that person. And if that resonates with you, if you feel, and only you would know that, right? Again, this is a general reading. Think about the idea of what's happening with the healing power in Chiron and with this higher power energy. So I feel like many of you might be getting poked at understanding that you're not done with that relationship, but you're really not sure what to do about it, And I do get this sense of confliction about that. For sure. Yeah, I do have that. Now, for those of you where it would not be an energy at all, this could just be you being in your power and being really mindful that you just need to be in your own space right now. So it really could be, depending, again, because it's a general reading, it depends on your situation. So if there is no one who is still lingering in your energy field, then this is you just honestly, just totally, your energetic block is you're just not done. You're not ready. You're just not ready. While others of you might not feel ready right now, but this relationship is poking at you. And then we have the Three of Cups reverse here, which can mean that, you're still dealing with something from your past. I'm getting that many of you were in a situation where there was some sort of flirtation or some sort of indulgence that went too far. Things became heated. The two of you became very distant, very disconnected. There was stuff here. There were heated arguments. And I'm getting that again, I'm getting that this person you were dealing with was just overly opinionated, egotistical. They somehow betrayed you. And this is you really needing to take a break from that energy to become more grounded so that you're not so affected by the emotional demands of all of that. Okay, now for others of you, again, where there was not this other individual, this is you just, feeling your power. And therefore, just kind of having this invisible to you, but not to everyone else, sign on your forehead that says, keep out, under construction, because this energy does tell me that you're just not ready to get back into it, not ready to get back into a relationship because of the fear that you may end up having to deal with the discord that comes up, in relationship. And you're just not feeling like you're in the space of being able to deal with that right now. You don't want to get pulled off track, more because you just really don't want to deal with the bullshit. You just don't. You don't want to deal with the worrying about betrayal and worrying what someone else thinks and worrying about egos. You're just in this space of healing in the biggest way right now. I'm getting such a healthy energy from this. But I do have to tell you, I have to tell you what I'm getting, okay? Very strong that many of you are going to be going back to a relationship that you're going to be able to heal through. You're going to be able to heal through it. But it's only because of the time and the space that's been taken and the healing that you've done in yourself that that's going to even be possible. Because this higher power card does tell me that many of you are meant to be with someone from your past, but that healing needed to happen. And again, with all the energy going on in your 8th house, reincarnation right now, Taurus, that house is being restructured. So things in your life are being revamped right now to serve your higher good. But it's all going to end up in a much healthier space. And, you know, I haven't gotten to your June into July, the full context of your astrology, because we are going into eclipse season in July, and the shadow period for that is always 6 weeks before. So a lot of you guys are going to be feeling things eclipsed out. But I want to say that very loosely. It very much depends on what degree you're at. Are you an early, middle, late Taurus? It depends on a number of things. So I'm going to get much more into that in June. But understand now, I just want to leave you guys with this one seed of thought that, and I don't want to, you know, go on with too many technicalities because I am going to be getting into it more in the June reads, but I want you guys to think about what was going on in your life between like 2000 and 2001 into 2, and then 2010, 11, 12, okay? I want you to look at the commonalities between the energies of things that you guys went through. There were a lot of heavy eclipses. Those of you who are old enough to think back to that point, it very much an energy of something getting eclipsed out and then something else being put in its place. And sometimes, you know, the thing is brought in before something's eclipsed out and vice versa. We're very much in that energy right now as a collective. So you want to be mindful that things are going to be leaving your life for new things to be brought in. And it can also be old versions of relationships. I could tell you for myself, my twin boys were born in 2000, and my mother passed away in 2001. So it was that kind of thing. And that's what happens during these transits. You know, and then moving forward to the next one, you know, in 2010, I got divorced and I literally just completely phoenixed up and completely reincarnated every essence of myself and my life over the course of that following year into 2 years, where my life became completely unrecognizable by the end of that transit. So this is exactly what we're in right now. So it's going to hit all of us a little differently, but that is as a collective. That's not only specifically to Taurus. So we'll get into the specifics of what that might mean for you next month. But right now, you guys are in a good space of thinking and healing. And for those of you who are going to be revisiting, I have to say I'm not getting it right now, probably into the summer, because there's still healing that needs to be done here. But overall, this is incredibly positive. So good stuff, Taurus. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you guys probably in about a week for the June reads. Take care. Bye-bye.